Ora and welcome on this rather cloudy summer morning to my first venture into wood turning on my little lathe. And the first thing, of course, is to adapt the little unimat SL to turn wood. As you see, I've got a 4-jaw self-centering chuck. It's a chuck for metal turning really, but it does for what I want to do. Difficult to find them for this lathe, so I've had to get an adapter for the 12mm thread on the spindle into the 14mm thread on this, and I have to take a little bit off the face here just so that I could have enough space between the centres. I'm getting quite a collection of chucks now, as you can see, from a 3-jaw to a 4-jaw independent chuck to a faceplate to drill, but it's all coming together. But I've only spent about £100 on the conversion, so it's not so bad. All the other thing was, of course, was the live centre for the tailstock. And the most important thing, of course, is this, the tool guide for wood turning. This actual guide is from a much later MCO lathe that I've had to adapt, bodge up a bit, but it fits, and I can put shims underneath to vary the height, and under the screw I can slide it in and out, but I'll have to get another one to give me a bit more trouble on the slide if I ever attempt to turn a, well, not a bowl, I can't put one on here, but an egg cup or a little wooden box. But it does the job, and it's not that long, as you can see, but I can move it along with using the carriage. So that it goes to any position that wants, and of course it remains equidistant from the work. The other thing I should mention is that is the two-post guide, two-post holder that I've had to take off, but as you can see I've marked the ends so that these guide rods go back in the same position. I'm not sure if it's strictly necessary, but I wasn't going to take the chance. I've also made these out of a shank of a couple of old drills. I don't know if they come out any good on here, but they're meant to be 2 little drive centres, spur drive centres. Basically just a wood point, a chisel point, and then a little nick in the middle. An idea I got off YouTube, somebody else far more experienced than me, so I can't see why they won't work for very small stuff. This is what I want to attempt to do to start with. These are lace making bobbins. My wife does an awful lot of lace making, both full scale and miniature lace for her doll's houses. So that's what she wants me to do. This is one, as the saying goes, I made earlier. And she's tried it and it's okay, Dana. And it compares rather well with the shop bought one. And she uses hundreds of these things, so, you know, it's worth doing. And this is what they start off life as. A blank piece of wood. I don't know what wood it is, I just grabbed it out of the wood scrap box to play about with and to experiment. But it's not bad. I made that one and these high-speed steel tools that somebody gave me. They're not brilliant, but it was worth it for trying. I think they need more skill in their use than I have at this stage anyway. So through the post this morning I got this rather beautiful looking set of carbide tip lathe tools, which everybody tells me are far better to use, are far easier for the beginner and remove a lot of wood. Anyway, Rose bought them for me because I was turning the bobbins for her, so that must be fair. The other thing I will mention at this stage, goggles, essential. This throws up a lot of dust and shavings, so always wear the goggles. And cover up any of your lathe accessories you have on the bench, because everything is covered in the dust. Including me. Metalworking is much cleaner. And there we are, not too bad a result. Rough turning to get it round. These carbide tip tools are much easier for me to use as an absolute beginner than the high-speed steel stuff, where you've got to bother with angles and God knows what. So, there we go. My first venture into wood turning.